Welcome everybody back to The Disruption. I am DJ Paradigm, and today we are playing Lucy, the eternity she wished for. As far as I know, this is kind of a visual novel type game, so we're just gonna see what happens. I don't know what's happening. The 3 laws of robotics, huh? Robot may not injure a human being through inaction, allow a human to become to harm. A robot must obey the orders given by the one possessing control or authority, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. October 12th. You. Oh, me. What am I? Am I a robot? Am I a robot? Modern Visual Arts Laboratory presents scenario by SR. What does that mean? I hear things. I gotta turn my volume up a little bit. Thoughts enter my mind as I walk down a busy street. All the brightly lit digital billboards and neon signs, covered from top to bottom with 3D holograms. Whoa. Emitting various ear-splitting sound effects. They're giving me a headache. I feel like I could collapse at any moment. That was trippy. This is the display of the IT superpower, Korea. The constant and in-your-face technology underlines our nation's claim to fame. There's been many drastic and all-encompassing changes in the last few years. And being a person who cherishes nature, I despise these changes. This is why I just want to close my eyes. I don't know how long this game is, so we may end up just playing through the whole thing. Downtown Street. Blinking doesn't change anything. Everything appears even brighter than usual. I might just be feeling a little off. I need to take a drink. Maybe it's the weather. I decided to take a shortcut to avoid being overwhelmed. It's a place that will take me away from the blinding lights. I've chosen to take my secret path home. Who am I? What am I? Am I a robot? No one knows. Whew! I finally breathe a sigh of relief after managing to escape the chaos of downtown. I have expected ghosts to pop out at me as I make my way through the shady park path. The buildings nearby are filthy and worn down, with only a few inhabitants around. It seems that I haven't fully escaped all the noise from downtown. The industrial noise from the factories and construction work continue to ring in the air. But that's fine. At least my eyes can take a rest. A massive building on the side catches my attention. K Robotics Co., Ltd. That's probably what it would say on the main gates. Although I never cared much about this place, I've at least heard of it. They've put out various models of robots which are renowned worldwide. I see them on the news quite often. My classmates are always talking about them. They are especially amazed about their androids. I personally don't know much about robots. In this generation, it's impossible to stay away from technology whether I like it or not. I don't particularly care much about it, though. I'm the kind of person who prefers analog clocks over digital, pianos over synthesizers, and acoustic guitars over electric. And finally, real people over androids. I turn my attention back to the sidewalks. I continue towards the hidden path leading to the junkyard. Naturally, this is private property, so no one is allowed to enter. But this is nothing for a troublemaker like me. Man, I'd be in that junkyard too. Be finding all them robot parts, but I'm the kind of guy who likes them robot parts. Oh, so we're not even through like the intro credits and everything yet. Ooh, I want to drive that. Here it is. The graveyard for all the failed experiments. In the past, I've seen small tin can-like robots scurrying around and taking apart various objects. Only the more costly parts are recycled, while the cheaper ones are turned into scrap. Everything here is automated. There isn't anyone actually watching over this place. Just the guard robots and several worker robots silently carrying out their duties. If spotted by a guard robot, the siren is activated. I've personally never run into any trouble, though. After all, robots are fundamentally stupid. Even with guard robots, as long as I'm a bit careful, I can sneak by without issue. This is where the big company dumps all their stuff. I heard you can find some real goodies from time to time. Only if you're lucky, that is. Pretty sure that guy from my class told me something along those lines. I've already scoped this place out on previous trips. I've never had good find, though. Guess it's just my luck. Or I can't tell what's useful or not. Probably the latter. Since my familiarity with robot is quite poor, whatever. I didn't come here to hunt for treasures anyways. This is only a shortcut home. If I walk straight through the middle, I can shave off almost 10 minutes. The reward outweighs the risk. If only I could just ignore the loud noises and the no trespassing signs scattered all over the place, though. I have no reason to care about the piles of scrap around here. As usual, I quickly make my way through the junkyard. So the junkyard's just a badass shortcut. Cool. ... Huh? However, today was a little different. Something has caught my eye. A faint figure in the distance. I can't be sure, but it looks like a person? In a place like this? A woman. There appears to be an unconscious woman lying on the ground. She's not moving. Maybe she's hurt somewhere. Or something worse. I start to grow a bit concerned. I had just stumbled upon a crime scene that might end up on tomorrow morning's headline news, I had to find out what's going on. I'm going in for a closer look. Dang. She's dead. I dashed toward the fallen maiden to lend us the fallen maiden? It appears I was mistaken. This isn't a woman that was lying on the ground after all. Ah, I was fooled. You fool. Is it a robot? Oh, dang, it's a robot. It's a robot. It's a robot. I just found an android. From afar, you could mistake it for a person. Its features are almost lifelike. An android? That's what was lying there. Achievement unlocked. Abandoned robot. I didn't know there was achievements in this game. Useless piece of junk. Don't scare me like that. I never actually owned an android before, though I've seen quite a few around me. They say that an android is nearly indistinguishable from a person from just a glance. That's how advanced our technology has become. To prevent confusion, androids are implanted with serial codes. Each model has its own unique number. I spot the android's code located near its belly. I blow off the dust and get a better look. It reads PIM001. Number 1? With a design with a design that I have never seen before. Maybe it's a prototype. It looks brand new. If so, then what's it doing here? Maybe this is one of their failed experiments. It's caked with dust from head to toe. All in all, it's a pretty sad sight. It also hasn't moved a single inch. It looks like it's out cold. Hey, wake up! Curiosity gets the better of me. I decided to test it out. I do not know that voice recognition is a standard feature for all androids nowadays. Assuming everything is working properly, it should respond to my voice. No response. Hey, say something. Still nothing. Come on, they're gonna cut you open at this rate. I deliver a light kick to the robot's leg. Oh. System 1 loaded. Oh, robo noises! Upon contact, it starts to show signs of life. Accompanied by a collection of bleeps and bloops, the arms begin to spasm. Its movements are quite rigid. It's just flailing around all nuts. The scene looks like it was plucked straight out of an old sci-fi film. It's probably running on reserve power. I guess it's still got a bit of juice left. Whirr. Its unstable movements start to make me feel a bit nervous. The light in its eyes had yet to return. Ouch, I just kicked my guitar. I begin to spot a pattern in its actions. It looks as if it's greeting me with a wave, trying desperately to keep my attention. I hear a screeching sound nearby, the sound of metal being crushed. Probably those little robots doing their jobs. I can't tell if they're close. I can tell that they're close. They'll probably reach this place in less than 10 minutes and shred this android into a million pieces. Its existence will soon come to an end. I kind of feel sorry for this thing. I do. I feel a little bit bad. I begin to sympathize with the robot because I realize just how much trouble it was in. Despite being dusty, it's still in pretty good shape. With a bit of cleanup, it would look as good as new. If it hadn't been thrown out, it would surely still have been in service. I wouldn't know what this robot was made for, but I wonder why it never saw its debut. All the labor used to create this robot will go to waste. All the sweat and tears poured into creating this robot will go down the drain. All of the cutting-edge features it could have offered will never be realized. As far as I could see, with a little bit of tinkering, this might become useful. Half of me is staring at the robot in pity, and the other half is calling me an idiot for doing so. It's not like I really need an android in the first place anyways. I never liked them. For me to actually keep one at home and use it, it's unthinkable, to say the least. And more importantly, I don't know how my father will react to this. I prefer classical music over rock, classical literature over pulp fiction, and finally, humans over androids. I know you're not talking about the movie Pulp Fiction. I know you're talking about books. But I just have to say, the movie Pulp Fiction, one of my favorite movies of all time. Let's face it, I have no use for an android. Eventually, this robot will be scrapped and recycled for new parts. And just like how herbivores are eaten by carnivores for survival, only the strongest survive. And that's the way it should be. No, you can't just leave it there. Oh crap, guard robot. Alert, intruder detected. Damn it, I've been spotted by the guard robot. The most troublesome one. If I hesitate any longer, I'll be caught and taken away. I gotta go. See ya. With those cold words, I make my way out of the junkyard. What if she just, dies right now? That's the end of it. She just dies. Ha. There must be something wrong with me. What? Even while taking a great risk, I ended up bringing the android home. It's always been a bad habit of mine to act on a whim. I'm already starting to regret it. But I decided to take some time to clean the robot up anyways. I'm really surprised though. It looks practically brand new now. I was nervous about cleaning it first because I thought using water might ruin its chassis. But then again, I would have probably just thrown it away if it broke down anyways. It doesn't look like there are any glaring issues for now. It seems like I've made the right choice of bringing it home. And besides, it wouldn't make sense for such a premium model to not be waterproof. That's not the only problem here, though. I can't figure out how to communicate with this thing. Hey, you! Whir. Its arms begin to flail. Show me a trick. Whir. Come on, anything. If you don't want to be thrown away again, just show me something. Whir. Don't tell me moving your arm is all you can do. If you don't say anything soon, I'm seriously going to toss you out. Whir. I let out an exasperated cry. This was no better than taking. My eyeballs aren't working. I need glasses, guys. I do. I just don't have the time or money to go get them right now. That's okay, though. This was no better than talking to a brick wall. This is why I hate machines. They're stupid. Especially the one in front of me, which... Why do I get those... Yeah, which in particular seems to be a million times dumber than the others. I'm starting to get a little ticked off. I'm also a bit dyslexic, so when I have trouble reading things out loud, that's why. Why did I even bother with this thing? Don't do something you might regret. The old sayings have never been wrong. Now that I think about it, it's probably operating under reserve power. Maybe it just needs to recharge. That might do the trick. I start to get up, only to pause thereafter. There's another issue. Hey, where am I supposed to plug this cord into? Where? I've never used an Android before, so obviously I wouldn't know. Maybe your nose? Where? Maybe it's just my imagination, but its arms seem to flail more rapidly. Perhaps it's trying to tell me that I'm wrong. I imagine the android with an electrical cord... I imagine the android with an electrical cord up her nose. It'll be quite a sight. I don't want to plug it into its nose. Then how should I power this thing? I examine the robot carefully. Maybe I've missed something. Huh? It started to jerk its body from side to side. It seems like it wanted to turn around. Is there something on your back? Taking the hint, I glance at the back of its head. I squint my eyes. Could this be it? Upon a closer look, I spot a small compartment at the base of its neck. I remove the protective lid. Inside, I find what looks to be a number of input ports. Bingo! I guess I'll try connecting it to one of these. I drag out the cable from the corner of my room. Without hesitation, I plug it in.
메인 시스템 기동.
Whoa!
성공.
It's in Korean. Finally, a response. It worked.
어플리케이션 구동. 실패.
Failure. Huh?
전력 부족. 시스템 프로텍션 기동 중. 어플리케이션 구동 불가. 절전 모드로 이행.
Well, just charge yourself up before you start to try to turn on.
경고.
Warning.
소유주가 등록되어 있지 않습니다.
Crap, how do I get ownership records?
5초 후 소유주 등록에 들어갑니다. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's in Korean. It's a Korean robot. What the heck is going on? I can't read any of that.
성문 확인.
Confirming voice recording?
지금 뭐 하자는 거야?
What the heck is going on?
성문 기록
Save complete.
완료.
Wait, hold on a second. I frantically latch onto the robot.
지문 확인.
Scanning fingerprints.
맥박 정상.
Pulse normal.
기온 정상.
Temperature normal. Thank you.
지문 등록 완료.
Complete. I love this song. This music's great. Say what now? I let go of the robot immediately. Sorry, I was getting into the groovy music. Retina scan. That scanned my eyeball.
시각 정보 스캔. 시각 정보 확인. 이미지 등록 완료.
Doing a bunch of things, and I don't think it's about to stop anytime soon.
이름을 발음해 주세요.
Registering client ID.
소유주의 이름은 무엇입니까?
What is happening?
이름을 확인합니다.
Oh.
소유주의 이름은
What is happening? You're correct.
뭐냐고 대체
What do you think?
가 이름 등록 실패.
Name verification failed.
반복합니다.
Re-registering client ID.
소유주의 이름은 무엇입니까? 이름 등록
Just
실패.
say your name, me.
스테이터스 등록 보류. 완료. 이상으로 소유주 등록을 마칩니다.
And just like that, all was silent once more. It felt as if a tornado had just ripped through the scene. I gripped my head in frustration. I really shouldn't have brought this thing home after all. This is already the third time regretting it today. Why do I keep punishing myself? The robot is facing towards me. Its eyes still retain a vacant look. I wonder if this is supposed to be normal. But at least it just started to move. It has started to move. I decided to throw a few questions at it. Hey, I'm going to ask you something, so listen up and try to answer. You can do that, right? Or the head tilts slightly to the side. I suppose it can move more than just its arm now. It's not much, but at least we're making some progress. Let's do this. So what exactly are you?
말의 의미를 판단할 수 없습니다.
Don't you have a name or something like that?
모델명 루시 발렌타인 PIM001
Lucy Valentine. PIM? PIM?
Precision Instrument for Multipurposing PIM001
Precision Instrument for Multipurposing.
루시는 기존의 특화 타입에서 벗어나 언제 어느 상황에서든 소유주의 도움이 될 수 있도록 수백 가지의 다양한 경우를 상정해 고안된 다목적 안드로이드입니다.
Okay. I get that. That makes sense.
여러 신기술들이 집약되어 있습니다.
What are they? I see. Versatile. Latest features. I wasn't expecting those words from a piece of junk that could only move its arms up and down a moment ago. In short, your name is Lucy Valentine. The android named Lucy is waiting for my next words. Let's try taking a closer look. It looks as good as new after the wiping I've given it. It possesses an alluring visage and a slender figure. Regardless of gender, I have to admit that it's truly a beautiful design. I spot something on its left ear. A receiver? The robot has the appearance of someone in her late teens. I guess they were trying to model it after a teenage woman. I can tell a lot of effort had been put into creating this android. It'll probably sell for a premium price. It'd be a waste to throw it away. Take a closer look at the android's eyes. They're blue and they look strikingly similar to human eyes. As expected from technology, one whole generation ahead of LED lights. Those eyes do look quite real. Suddenly, the eyes shift over to me. Naturally, I meet their gaze.
안구 형태의 고성능 카메라가 2개 부착되어 있습니다.
Oh,
인간과 동일한 감각으로 사물을 감지하는 것이 가능합니다.
okay. Is that so? The way those eyes moved is very unsettling. Like something straight out of a horror movie. I decide not to look at them again. They make me feel uncomfortable. I take a gander at the robot's moist, glossy lips. Yuck. Contrary to their... Oh crap, I clicked too fast. Before advertising itself as a first-class model, I'd like to see if it's capable of changing its voice first. What's wrong with your voice? It sounds unnatural.
현재 음성 관련 모듈을 사용하지 못하고 있습니다. 루시 발렌타인은 기본적으로 10가지의 개성 넘치는 음성 프리셋을 지원하고 있으며 각종 이퀄라이저 기능을 내장함으로써 셀 수 없을 만큼 다양한 음성을 파생시키는 것이 가능합니다.
Okay. So basically, you have 10 different voices. No reply. Why can't you use them right now?
대부분의 기능은 정상 모드 및 프로텍션이 해제된 상태에서만 사용이 가능합니다.
Why are you in system protection?
절전 모드에서는 통상의 5% 미만에 해당하는 기능밖에 활용하지 못합니다.
Okay.
최소 20% 이상의 동력 여분이 남아 있어야 정상 모드로 이행이 가능합니다.
So, should I just let you charge for a little while?
제로를 기준으로 수면 모드 시에 총 8시간, 통상 모드 시에 총 16시간이 소모됩니다.
I hope the electricity bill doesn't go through the roof. Can't believe I'm talking to a cheap housewife talking like a cheap housewife in front of a robot. That's just silly. Forget about power saving mode. What's system protection mode?
대부분의 기능에 제한이 걸려 있습니다.
Why?
통상적인 활동을 위해서는 프로텍션 해제가 필수 불가결합니다.
How do I deactivate it?
알 수 없습니다.
Come again?
알 수 없습니다. 어떠한 필요성에 의해 잠금 기능이 걸려 있다고 판단됩니다. 푸는 것은 바람직하지 않습니다.
What are you talking about? You're no better than a talking toaster right now. Do you really want me to throw you out? I have to take it to a repair shop first thing tomorrow. When does this place open again? I don't know. I decided to take a look at the robot's ears.
음성 인식 기능을 통해 상대방의 음폭, 음색, 음정 등을 분석해 대상의 기분이나 의도를 대략적으로 알아내는 것이 가능합니다.
Okay. I haven't asked you anything yet. I take a look at its body itself. The shirt it's wearing is a little short, leaving out its midriff in plain sight. It's quite exposed overall. The model was probably created to attract male customers. I can't spot any curves in the chest area, though. Not that I care or anything. Can you move properly now?
모션을 구현하는 대부분의 모조 근육 파츠가 제대로 기능하지 않고 있습니다.
Which ones are you talking about?
델토이드 안테리엇, 델토이드 미들렛, 델토이드 포스테리엇, 펙토럴리스 메이저 C 레비큘러, 펙토럴리스 메이저 레트럴, 바이셉스 미디얼, 바이셉스 레트럴, 바이셉스.
Okay, that's enough. What planet did this thing come from? From now on, try to keep things simple. How are your legs? Can you move?
불가능합니다.
What a pain. I'll have to take it to the repair shop tomorrow. I think I'm starting to get the picture now. Let's do a little recap. First, the name of the android in front of me is Lucy Valentine. Second, according to the robot, it's actually a futuristic premium model. Third, as of now, it's no better than a talking tin can. And there you have it. The best course of action right now would be to take it in for repairs. It's going to be a lot of effort, but I guess it's not such a big deal. If I find out that I can't salvage it in any way, I'll just sell it off on the spot. I was already doing the android a favor by saving it from those robots in the junkyard anyways. It's not like I feel guilty about it or anything. Okay, time to find a place that you can get fixed. Speaking of repair shops, I've actually heard of one that's pretty close by. Some relatively new place that I noticed on my way to school. It's an antique shop, but I heard they also often deal with robot repairs. They also don't seem to charge a lot, and many say that they're ace in the business. I'll pay him a visit tomorrow. Now, to decide where I should go. I guess morning would be best. Yep, that sounds good. I'll leave the robot with them in the morning and I'll pick it up on my way home from school. I'm done with my questions. Try to save up some energy for tomorrow.
5초 후 수면 모드로 전환합니다. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As soon as I finish my sentence, with a sudden hissing noise, the robot goes lifeless. I groan as I reach out to catch its falling body. I carefully place it against the wall and straighten out its clothes. Whew! I'm totally drained. I hope tomorrow will be more peaceful. I already know all this. We already went through that. May 3rd. Doctor. Well, it wasn't May. It was like October. I've ensured this far with just one goal in mind, of endured. There hasn't been a single day where I could rest. It became natural to go to bed at the crack of dawn. I don't recall the last time I've been home. Thinking back, it's been a long while. 15 years. 15 years have passed since I've started this project. But the end is near. 15 years of hard work and determination. After all this time, the fruits of my labor may finally be realized. How long have I yearned for this day? I've almost given up on you many times, but I pushed on through. And I've finally succeeded. I barely managed to hold back the tears. I remind myself that it's still too early to celebrate. I must restrain my exuberance. I'm teetering on the brink of complete exhaustion. I've been pushing physically and mentally to my limit. I've become a shell of my former self. The last 15 years have taken a huge toll on me. Did it skip 15 years? Or did it just skip from when I was there to May 3rd? That is why, please open your eyes, Lucy Valentine. What? How are you just gonna be Lucy Valentine? Now we're back to the laws of robotics again. What is this? Why do you keep showing me that? October 13th, you. Okay, so this is like the day after now. Tap. I shut off my alarm by reflex. I groggily get up to check the time. The clock reads 6:30 a.m. School starts at 8 o'clock sharp. It takes me 30 minutes to get there, so I have about 1 extra hour. There's plenty of time left. I'm still feeling tired. I'm just going to go back to sleep. No big deal. I decide to get to more sleep. After a brief moment, I get back up. Whoa. Oh, cool. I can read through old text. I realize that it has been a forgotten. Come to think of it, wasn't there a look around for the android? And there it was, dressed in provocative clothing. With a tall nose, luscious lips, and hair glinting in silver, the android named Lucy came into my view. Lucy? As I call out to her, I'm greeted by an immediate reaction. It seems to be revving itself up. It muttered something and starts to rise off the floor. A robot with looks no different than those of a real person. Also, with a pretty face to boot. Don't get the wrong idea. Just because it's attractive doesn't mean I'm interested. Since it's a robot. In other words, it's like checking out a girl from a magazine. Except that feeling is amplified tenfold in this case. Although technology is improving, a huge gap remains between human and robots. You can't approach a person like you would with a robot. No matter how close a robot could simulate a human being, machine and man will always be different. As I continue staring at the android, I start thinking to myself, what kind of greeting should I be using here? Good morning? Did you sleep well? They all feel out of place. I decide to ask about her condition instead. How are your battery levels?
100% 충전 완료.
100% fully charged.
문제는
No
발견되지
issues have been
않습니다.
recorded. I see. That's good. I let out a yawn and I make my way out to the bathroom. That is a strange bathroom. I wash up, take care of business, and exit the bathroom. After drying myself with a towel, I enter the living room. Set a couple of plain sandwiches on the table. I pick one up and take a bite out of it. It's always the same sandwich from the convenience store just across the street. While chewing, I idly take a look around the living room. My father's already left for work. He always leaves early and returns late at night. Actually, it's more common for him to spend the night at work. That's how it is around here. Whoa, where'd Lucy go? I return to my room. Where is she? Oh, yeah, whew. Thought she just walked away. The android is waiting for me in the exact same spot. It seems like it hasn't even moved an inch since I woke up. As expected from a robot, I think to myself. Putting that aside, I start to prepare for school. After packing my bag, I start to wonder if the robot has any magical self-regenerating abilities. How do you feel? Now that you have a full charge, are you able to walk? Its head slowly turns to
하체
face me.
관절부의 상당량의 과부하를 감지. 통상적인 임무를 수행하기에는 무리라고 이에 걸맞은 적재적소의 수리가 요구됩니다.
I told you to keep things simple. Get to the point.
아직 걸을 수 없습니다.
Still? Aren't you a real pain? Anyways, I understand. Even if I wanted to try repairing it myself, I won't be able to tell where exactly the issue lies. There's no choice. I'll see what happens once I take it to the repair shop. I finish up packing. The only thing left to do is carry the robot to the repair shop. Alright, now how should I do this? Why would I put it in my backpack? I kneel down, facing away from the robot. Alright, hop onto my back. Tilts its head to the side, looking confused. After noticing that, I start to get a little irritated. First class model? Yeah, right. How am I supposed to explain every little thing? Listen up. Put your arms around my neck and climb onto my back. Can you do that? After tilting its head again, it spurs into action.
확인 요망. 이 방법이 맞습니까?
Stop, I surrender. Two strangling arms lose their grip. I let out a couple coughs. Are you trying to murder me? There's no need to put that much force into it, just enough to not fall off. Honest to God, I thought I was actually going to die there. It was a fabulous chokehold, instantly bringing my knees to a collapse. The android should look to be a world wrestling champion. Alright, let's try this again. Second time was the charm. I took a deep breath and hoisted myself off the floor. I start to feel the force of gravity pushing down on my back. Huh? I was prepared to break my back for this, yet surprisingly, it wasn't too heavy. I finally come to appreciate this first-class product for the first time. Alright, here I go. I think we might end up just playing through this whole game in this video and just uploading it. We're a really small file size for it being almost 40 minutes into a video. Oh, the weather isn't too bad. No, it's actually really nice out. This cool autumn wind is brushing against my skin. I gladly let the crisp morning air fill my lungs. I thoroughly cleanse away the stress piled up from last night. The streets are eerily quiet. I'm just glad there's less people now. I feel like I'm carrying an immature grown-up on my back. It's good that there's always a few spectators to witness such a sight. Oh, very few. I can at least avoid being the center of attention. Let's see here. I comb through my memories in an attempt to remember the location of the repair shop. If I'm correct, it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes away from here. It's a good thing the shop is nearby. I'm not very athletic to begin with. No matter how light the android may be, I still won't be able to carry it around for a long time. I resume walking. Not too light, not too heavy. I maintain the balance of the robot shuffling around on my back. Hold on tighter so you don't fall off. I feel like I'm scolding a child. Hey, stop moving around so much. I could feel the surface of the robot through my clothes. And it doesn't feel any different from a normal human skin. I noticed it yesterday, yet I managed to surprise me again today. And it's not just the skin. I can also sense some moderate warmth rising from under the coating. It feels as if I'm carrying an actual person. The robot is probably just overheating itself, which is the reason behind the familiar warmth. Wow, feels just like a real person. I muttered to myself absent-mindedly.
냉각기 및 온도계는 정상적으로 작동 중입니다.
Thermometer is operating as normal. What's this all of a sudden?
인간의 기온을 척도로 세밀한 발열량 조절을 반복하고 있습니다.
Oh, that must be why. Motherboards and microprocessors consisting of various computer chips. There must be thousands of those inside a single android. The slight fuzzy warmth emanating from the machine. It's as warm as human skin. It just feels like us. But it's not an actual real person. It's just an elaborate fake. Sometimes I fear what progress in technology would bring to the future. Do you know where we're headed? With a word, the robot shakes its head sideways. We're going to a place that'll get you fixed up. When they begin the repairs, you'll need to be still and quiet, so they won't be distracted. Do you understand? Hey, I'm asking you if you understood. Say something. There's no reply. I just hoped it got my message. I let out a small sigh and continued to walk. I checked the time. My classmates will be starting to make their way to school now. I began to hurry so as to avoid running into anyone that might recognize me. A little while later, I arrive at my destination. Stretching out my mildly aching back, I stand before a small building reminiscent of an antique shop. I've heard that they actually do sell some old goods, but they often deal with repairs. To be specific, it's just the owner's hobby to repair robots. He's not a professional by any means. From what I can find out, they've got a solid reputation, though. Most likely, they're better known for repairs than selling merchandise. To be honest, I've yet to hear anyone hear of another competent place for the job. I don't know much other than that. Wow, my eyeballs are not working good right now. Oy. That's because I've never been here before. I only heard about them. This is the first time I've actually checked out the place myself. Obviously, I wouldn't normally visit a place like this, but today is an exception. Whew, that's a dingy looking place. What? A customer already? Hold on a second. I'm greeted by a grumpy voice full of annoyance. After a while, a man emerges from the back, scratching his head. Oh. He looks as if he's just woken up. He doesn't appear too young or old. Somewhere in his late 20s, maybe. He probably didn't get a lot of sleep last night. He doesn't stop yawning. So, what can I do for you so early in the morning? Unable to move my arms, I gesture at the android draped over my back. I was looking to get this robot repaired. Huh? Android? Wiping his tired eyes, he passes his gaze onto the robot. Let me see here. I don't think I've ever seen this model before. I spot a glint of curiosity in those sleepy, half-closed eyes of his. He walks over to take a closer look. I can't believe it. I'm totally stumped. It's probably some obscure model from an unknown company, or it's never actually been released to public. Where exactly did you get this android? I'm not sure how I should respond to this. If I tell him about the junkyard, he might call the cops on me, since it's illegal to take anything from out of there. It could get problematic if I let him in on everything. What should I say? found it lying somewhere outside. It fell from the sky. I think this guy'd be pretty cool with me stealing this android. I'm just gonna tell him the truth. I got it from the junkyard. Junkyard? You don't mean the company, that company's junkyard. He tosses his thumb over his shoulder. I'm not exactly sure where he's referring to, but I haven't seen any other junkyards around here, so yep, it's probably that one. You got some guts, kid. I hope you know how much the fines are. I know that anything in the world is free as long as you don't get caught. Haha, you're a funny kid, I like you. Yeah, I was right. He seems like a pretty cool guy. I was nervous at first, but I guess I didn't need to worry so much about him reporting me after all. But wait, what's this? A nasty frown forms on his face. Is something wrong? Tisk tisk. This is problematic. Suddenly, he starts fussing like a little kid. What kind of sicko would do this? Just look at this. The whole frame's ruined. I wouldn't even be able to move around properly. It wouldn't be able to move around properly on its own. He was right. And that was pretty quick of him to point that out. I guess he really is the real deal after all. You think you can fix it? That's not the main issue here. There's something more important. And what's that? Do you have the resolve to take proper care of an android? The resolve? What's he suddenly on about? Listen, androids break easily. They're fragile. They're sensitive. They're delicate. Do you get what I'm saying here? You should never treat an android this way. He emphasizes this point 3 times. That's how passionate he was about it. I can see that he really loves his robots, but at the same time, he's starting to freak me out. He continues to rant. To a lot of people, androids are nothing but fancy toys nowadays. I mean, those kind of folks pay for my food and my bills. But whenever I hear about how they've been mistreating their androids, I tend to lose my temper. They don't understand how important these creatures really are to us. I unwittingly take a small step back. Creatures? This man just referred to androids as creatures. He's not right in the head. From time to time, people who fall in love with androids would show up in the news reports.
So, I guess what I'm hearing here is sometimes people fall in love with androids and it shows up in the news reports. I'm not just talking about the ones who seek sexual pleasure from androids. I'm talking about the people who are willing to spend the rest of their lives with androids, treating them as equals. It's a pressing issue that's been brought up many times in recent years. It's an abnormality spawning from the advanced civilization with constant innovations in technology. As someone who's never seen it happen firsthand, I've always refused to believe it. How could such people possibly exist? An android simply lacks the intellect to be paired up with a human being. It's nothing but a glorified hunk of metal that can make our lives a bit easier. I'd rather spend my entire life with a monkey. At least monkeys are actually living creatures. And they share a lot of similarities with us humans. It's the first time I've had something like this happen before. Although, I feel more disappointed than shocked. He seems like a perfectly normal person on the outside, but they say you can't judge a book by its cover. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that I'll get it fixed, but you better take good care of it. I felt this is a bit unfair, since I wasn't the one who messed up the android in the first place. Even so, I feel like it's worth stating. I don't feel like it's worth starting an argument over. Better just bite my tongue and get this over with. Yep, that's true. Just deal with it. Alright, I just need to be a bit careful from now on, right? I'll keep that in mind. Yeah! What a great kid. At least you listen when somebody tells you something. If you like me that much, you could charge me a little less. You're learning to bargain already. At your age, you're not such a great kid after all. He does a full turn in a blink of an eye. Unbelievable. Since you're my first customer of the day, I'll only charge you half as much as the usual. I'm relieved to hear that. Whew. Yeah, thank God, man. I mean, I planned on taking this highly expensive android into a repair shop without having any money to pay for it. That's how I work. I'm relieved to hear that. Any discounts are most certainly welcome. That's great. Would you be able to finish it by the end of the school day? Yup. Ooh, this guy's a champ. He is a grade A robot repairman. Yup, I don't particularly have anything else to work on today, so... He punches some numbers into his calculator. Then he shows me the results. I was planning on charging you only about this much. What do you think? My mind goes completely numb for the next 3 seconds. There are a lot of video games that I've always wanted to buy. I also need to save up for new textbooks that I'll be using next year. This robot had better pay for itself. Fine, I'll have it ready when I return to pick it up. Well, I'll have it ready when I return to pick it up. I take out the pocket watch that I've always liked to carry around. I've wasted too much time here. Some people ask me why I still bother to use such an outdated type of watch in our generation. I tell them that it has nostalgic charm to it. I'd take this over any common wristwatch any day. I'm well aware these types of watches are hard to find, but more importantly, this is my personal way of rebelling against this continuously developing society. Hey, you piece of junk. Hey, can't you hear me? There's no reply of any kind or reaction. I finally decide to address it by its name. Lucy? The robot reacts instantaneously. How troublesome this thing is. I'll be back after school. Behave yourself, alright? Why aren't you talking? The android wobbles its head back and forth. I'm hoping it understood me. I'll leave the shop and head straight to school. We have been playing this game for almost an hour now. Wonder how much longer this is. I guess we'll find out soon, huh? I make my way towards the high school that I attend. I'm currently in my second year. While running, a movie that was recently watched springs to mind. It's an old sci-fi movie from the year 2050. Set in the year 2050? Sci-fi movies from the past are quite remarkable. They all seem to lack creativity. Some would include large-scale space battles. Others would have vehicles flying through the sky. That's just too unrealistic. It's true that there have been major strides in science and technology, but it's difficult to change what we're grown to accustomed to. This is the year of 2050. People still walk to school. People still drive normal vehicles. People still ride bicycles and skateboards. Some people still use old fountain pens or pocket watches, like me. But there exists a single piece of technology that becomes more prominent in our lives: androids. Androids are being used everywhere around the world. That's the only difference our contemporary world has to offer. Well, that's disappointing. I want a flying car. I enter the hallway just as the morning bell starts to ring. That's the Big Ben ring, isn't it? Giving it all I got, I dash for my classroom. Please refrain from running in the hallways. I just got scolded by a janitor bot. Oh dang, they have facial recognition? That's not okay. Is this gonna turn into some Skynet shit? Safe! I enter the classroom acting like a professional baseball player who had just stolen a base. I notice that the teacher hasn't arrived yet. I plunk down in my seat while still huffing. That was pretty close. Did you sleep in again? I hear a familiar voice calling out to me. It's coming from the guy sitting next to me. Yo, what up, Glasses? A clever-looking fellow. People usually refer to him by his nickname, Dr. Gears. I'm gonna call this dude Dr. Glasses. Nerd. I do despise robots. I've seen Terminator. While I label myself an introvert, he is very approachable and outgoing. Moreover, our tastes and hobbies differ quite a lot, but he's actually my best bud in the entire class. Puzzling, isn't it? Even our classmates find it strange. No, I just had some business to take care of. Really? This early in the morning? I gotta close my window. There's a bunch of cars driving by. Yes, I had business this early in the morning. It's a long story. Unfortunately, I'm cut off by the sound of the classroom door opening. A middle-aged man makes his entry. It's the teacher. A female assistant android is trailing behind him. Let's talk about this later. I send him a signal. He returns a thumbs up. Suh, dude? Thumbs up, dude. Do I have to sit through class? Oh no, good. Lunchtime arrives in the blink of an eye. I take out my freshly bought pieces of bread and arrange them upon my desk. I prepare to enjoy my lunch with Dr. Gears. 2 desks have been joined together. On my desk, there's a couple pieces of fried croquettes and a carton of chocolate milk. On his desk, there's a tasty-looking lunchbox. My friend appears to be enjoying his lunch. I've heard that his maid android makes it for him every morning. But how's the actual food? It doesn't look half bad. I want to see it. For someone who eats bread every day like me, it's truly a feast for the eyes. Why are you just sitting there? Got a problem with your food? No. I should start eating. I received a light scolding. I take a piece of croquette in my mouth. I delicately bite into its golden, crunchy surface. A warm, savory scent fills my nose. The sweet flavors of dough mingle with the tantalizing aromas, creating a heavenly mixture. But that's not all. The cream inside unleashes its softness, and it slowly melts on my tongue. Then the vegetables in the mixture provide a strong, rich flavor. The eggs and the mashed potatoes also join the fray, blending in pleasantly with all the other ingredients. This refined taste. It must be... just a plain old piece of croquette. I put it aside and casually ask Dr. Gears a question. By the way, didn't you once tell me that you have a lot of androids at home? Huh? Yeah, 6 of them in total, I think. 6 of them, huh? What an impressive number. It's impossible for normal households to be able to afford that many. The rumor has it he's from a rich family. I guess it's true. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? It's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. He started grinning like an idiot. Hey, your food's falling out of your mouth, you know? You've taken a liking to androids, haven't you? Have you finally decided to put an end to this war between us? Well, for now, I guess. A wise decision. Androids are simply amazing, you know? They're truly the greatest invention that science has delivered since the beginning of mankind. There's a lot of different types, but I would recommend the maid models above all else. They take care of the chores and really know how to cook. On top of that, the female ones are all pretty cute. Sometimes I find myself admiring their beauty. You've got one sick, twisted mind, Gears. Tisk tisk. Don't you know that people can achieve inner peace with beauty? It's been proven by science, you know. I shake my head warily. I do admire his enthusiasm over something so petty, though. Really. Look, I just care more about what's on the inside, that's all. What are you talking about? I'm saying that it doesn't matter whether they're pretty or not. I just hate robots in general. Here's an example using people. Let's say there's a person with a pretty face, but he's a man. Does the fact that he's got a woman's face change anything? No, he's ultimately a man. Likewise, even if I see a beautiful android, since it's ultimately a robot, its aesthetics don't matter anymore. It just becomes an illusion. What I'm trying to say is that even if robots act like a person, it's not. Therefore, all robots are the same to me, and I dislike them all. I guess you still haven't changed your mind. But there has to be a reason why you brought it up, right? Normally, you wouldn't ever talk about it. Well, yeah. If you're looking to buy one, I'm here for you, man. I'll make sure to fill you in on everything you need to know. I'm telling you, you'll be making the greatest purchase of your life. After those words, I couldn't help but scratch my cheeks. I'm not exactly looking to buy one. Could it be that you're worried about the price, my friend? Don't worry. I have some connections that'll let you have one dirt cheap. As long as I'm with you, there won't be any problems. No, it's not that. There's no need to buy one. Now, just what do you mean by that? I fidget around, not knowing whether if I should tell everything. I found one somewhere. Found what? An android. You found one. An android. Yeah. Where? At the junkyard. Holy, you lucky bastard. Is it something like an IDX 358? Or a 455? What model is it? Something that starts with P. I can't remember. Someone told me it's a pretty recent model, but I haven't seen anything impressive yet. Might as well give it some time, though. It was free, after all. Now you've made me curious. I'll be sure to pay you a visit soon. He pauses for a moment before continuing, as if he's trying to change the subject. Well, I'm certainly happy you've taken an interest in androids, but what? You should be careful. About what? You've seen them on TV lately, right? Those who are obsessed with androids? They say it gets really tough to deal with as time goes on. Robots are robots. Humans are humans. You should never forget this boundary between them. Robots are mere tools designed to make our lives easier. Nothing more, nothing less. You'd be better off worrying more about your chances of being struck by lightning. Does he even realize who he's talking to? What an absurd idea. I know, of course. I don't expect that to happen to you, of all people. But it doesn't hurt to be a little self-aware, you know? Better safe than sorry. Alright, I get ya. I'll keep that in mind. He nods in response. Okay, so, can I pause this game? Is there a pause button? I don't know how to stop anything. But, okay, there we go. We are just gonna save right here. We're gonna save right there. We're gonna end this video off. We're an hour into it. I don't know how far we are into the game yet, or not. But that's gonna do it for this episode. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below, and we will continue with episode 2. It might be another hour long. I'm not sure. This has been just a hair over an hour. We're almost to an hour 5 now. But if you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe, leave a comment, share it with all of your friends, and if you have any more visual novel type games that you'd like me to play, let me know, and I will get a hold of them the best I can. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!